Hello students, so today in today's video we can look into the compiler directives. Okay, so what is compiler directives and its types? Okay, so here ASP.NET directives are instruction to specify optional settings such as registering a customer control and page language. This setting describe how the web form, so web form has the particular dot aspx. Okay, so format that is .aspx, or user control we have that is .acx. Pages are processed by the .NET framework. So the syntax for declaring a directive is that you can see, so this is the syntax for a directive how we will be having in the web form or a user controls. Okay, so here percentage at directive name attribute equals value, then attribute equals value percentage close. Okay, so this is how we are using the directive syntax. So the application directive, so we can see one by one the types. First one we have the application directives, which is mainly for the application files. Okay, so the application directive defines the application specific attributes. It is provided at the top of the global.aspx file. So in application, how it has been there, you can see the basic syntax of application directive is percentage at application language equals C#. Okay, so you can see in this open tag and percentage at is same in every directive types, but here you can say application language, we are specifying the language here. So language is nothing but the attribute, so you can specify any languages. Here I have specified C#. Okay, C# language we have been using. If you want to specify the JavaScript language, then you can specify here that is language equals JavaScript. Okay, so the attributes of the application directive are inherits, the name of the class from which to be inherit, means the inheritance concept you all know, I guess in Java you have been studied. So how you will be inherit by using the name of the class. Okay, description, the text description of the application. Parsers and compilers ignore this. Language, the language used in the code blocks. What are the language you know to specify in your website or a web application. Okay, so here you will specify the C# or JavaScript, any languages. Many VB script are there, so many web application languages are there, .NET languages, those you can specify here. Next we have the assembly directive. The assembly directive links an assembly to the page or the application at a parse time. This could appear either in the global.asax file for application wide linking in the page file, a user control file for linking to a page or a user control. So you can see the syntax, that is percentage at assembly name equals my assembly. So here you can give the name for a assembly directive. Okay, so the attributes are like name and source. So name, you can see you can give any name here. Okay, I had given my assembly, you can give name equals first program and all. Okay, so name, the name of the assembly to be linked, where the program is located, that name only we should be given. Okay, so source is the path of the source file to be linked and compiled dynamically. So source is always, you all know hyperlinks topic, right, where we will be giving the source, means which file we have to be linked, which file we have to be compiled and all by dynamically. So we have the source attribute here. Next we have the control activity directive, that is the control directive is used with the user controls and appears in the user control .ascx files. Okay, so here you can see the syntax, that is control language equals C#, enable view set equals false. Okay, so next we have the implements directive, that is the implements directive indicates that the web page, master page or a user control page must implement the specified .NET framework interface. Okay, so in implement directive we might have the many number of page like web page, master page, and a user control page. So this can be divided in a particular web form itself. Okay, when we are creating the ASP.NET web pages, we will be having these three options. Not only these three, many options are there. We will be mainly considering the master page, web page, and the user control page, where the user control page will be working by the users like .asx format files. Okay, so here the basic syntax implements that implement interface equals interface name. So it has a number of sub documents. Okay, while considering the particular website. The import directive, so import directive imports a namespaces into a web page. So import, so while you study the Java and all, you have used the import directives, right? Import java.io.asterisk and all. So same type we have in ASP.NET, that is namespaces for an web page and a user control page of an application. If the import directive is specified in the global.asx file, then it is applied to the entire application. If it is in a page of user control page, then it is applied to that page or a control. So you can see that at namespace equals system.drawing. The master directive specifies a page file as being the master page. So syntax, you can say at master page equals C# auto event wrap. So you can use this any of the attributes. Okay, so automatically when you click on the master page and all, in source code this particular syntax will be available. You no need to type and all. Okay, so this is how the syntax of the master directive. We have the language, auto event wrap, code files, inherit. So these are the attributes of the particular master page. Master type directive, that is the how the type of a master that assigns a class name to the master property of a page to make it strongly typed. So here you can have this particular syntax, that is master type attribute equals value of attribute equals value. The output cache directive controls the output caching policies of a web page or a user control. So you have the syntax, that is output cache duration, the how much duration we can have, then vary by param equals none. Okay, next we have the page directive. The page directive defines the attribute specific to the page file for the page parser and the compiler. Okay, so here we have this syntax: page language equals C#, auto event wrap equals true, code file equals default.aspx.cs, inherit equals default, trace equals true. Okay, so next we can look into the attributes of the page directives. That we have auto event wrap, means the boolean value that enables a or disables the page events that are being automatically bound to the methods. That is, for example, page load. Next we have the buffer, the boolean value that enables or disables the HTTP response buffering. Class name, the class name for the page. Client target, the browsers for which the server controls should render the content. Code file, the name of the code behind the file. Debug, the boolean value that enables or disables the compilation with the debug symbols. Description, the text description of the page ignored by the parser. Next we have the enable session state. It enables, disables, or makes the session state read only. Enable view state, the boolean value that enables or disables the view state across the page request. Next we have error page, means URL for redirection if an unhandled page exception occurs. Inherits, the name of the code behind or other class. Language, the programming language for code. Source, the file name of the code behind the class. Trace, it enables or disables the tracing. Trace mode, it indicates that how trace messages are displayed and sorted by the time or category. Transaction, it indicates if transactions are supported. Validate request, the boolean value that indicates whether all input data is validated against a hard coded list of values. So we can work from in lab, we can work these attributes. Okay, how it is mainly used in the programs and all. Okay, so these are the types of a compiler directives, and here we have another, that is the previous page type directive. That is, the previous page type directive assigns a class to a page so that the page is strongly typed. So here this is a syntax. Almost you should look that we have this particular types must be used in every syntax. Okay, so attribute equals values we can use. The reference directive are, that is how we can reference the other files and all. Okay, the user file or a page files, web form pages. Okay, the reference directive indicates that the another page or a user control should be compiled and linked to the current page. How we can link those particular already existed page into the new current page. Okay, so here you can see reference page is equal, we should give the name of that particular web form page. Okay, that is here example some page dot aspx. Okay, so this is a reference directive. Next we have the register directive. So it is used for registering the custom server controls and the user control. So this is a particular syntax. We have register, the attribute source, that is the source file of the registering, then tag name equals footer, tag prefix equals t footer. Okay, thank you.